How long? This is a question that the Lord laid on my heart, and I felt like this wasn't just for me, it was for other people too. And this how long wasn't directed towards, God, it was directed towards me. And I have my own personal how long, but what's yours? How long until you start being obedient? How long until you stop listening to the lies of the enemy? How long are you going to keep running to those addictions and other things to numb you for a moment instead of running to God? How long until you get into your word? How long until you speak up? How long are you going to keep accepting those anxiety attacks and thinking they're normal instead of trusting the word of the Lord that says, be anxious for nothing? How long until you are bold and courageous and get up and do what God has called you to do? How long? You see, a lot of us have gotten a little too comfortable with certain things that go on in our lives, and we've allowed things to happen in our lives that shouldn't be happening. We've kind of accepted certain things, and we're just like, well, that's the way things are. But God is saying, I have more. I've called you to more. I've called you to do more. I want more for you. And a lot of the times we're always asking God, like, how long until this happens, Lord? Like, how long am I going to have to keep waiting? But what if God is asking you that question? What if He's asking you how long? How long are you going to accept that situation? How long are you just going to be complacent and just sit in that mess that you should not be in? How long? And He's saying there's a shift I want to do in your life. There's a shift coming. But I'm wondering, how long are you going to keep living the way you are and continuing to do things the way you are? How do you expect me to shift you if you're just going to live the same? No, that's not how that's going to work. You got to do some things differently. You got to change some things. You can't just keep living the way you've been living and accepting the things that you shouldn't be accepting. A big how long for me was how long until you start opening up your mouth and declaring my word. I had this situation recently where the enemy, he was trying to put these lies in my head. And I had to get to a point where I had to start declaring the word of the Lord over my life. And I'm pretty sure my neighbors thought I was crazy, but I didn't care. I wasn't about to sit there and accept those lies. I wasn't about to sit there and believe the lies of the enemy and just be down and like, well, I guess I'm just going to fail. Like, I guess just like, woe is me. No, I was going to declare the word of the Lord over my life, which is what I did. His word says I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, that He will never leave me nor forsake me, that I don't have to accept the way things are, that He has better for me. So what is the how long for you? How long are you going to keep accepting your situation instead of trusting in God that He can and will change it? How long are you just going to sit there with your mouth closed and not speak up and speak out when you know something shouldn't be happening? How long? For some of you, you've accepted how a person treats you that shouldn't be treating you a certain way, and you're like, well, I guess this is how I deserve to be treated. Some of you have believed the lies of the enemy, unfortunately, and have just decided, well, I guess this is just who I am. Some of you know the word of the Lord, but you're in a certain situation where you're getting anxious and you're just tired, and you've gotten to this point where you're not putting your faith and trust in Him like you should. Things don't seem like they're going a certain way, and you just decided, well, I guess this is just how it is. But don't you know that you serve a God who can make the impossible possible, who can make a way when it seems like there isn't a way? So knowing that, why would you sit around being anxious and nervous all the time instead of declaring, no, this is not how I'm going to feel. This is not the mindset I'm going to have. Instead, just trusting in Him. God can do some amazing things. So why are you sitting around acting like He can't? What is causing you to accept certain situations in your life, and how long are you going to stay in them? How long? God's got something in store for you. He's just waiting for you to see what He's been speaking to you this entire time. He's waiting for you to realize some things and to start truly trusting and believing Him, and not just sitting around accepting your situation. No, He's got something better for you. It's time to truly start believing it. And see, the thing about a question is questions have to be answered. And I know there's going to be some people where they say, well, what if I just don't answer the question? Well, not answering the question is an answer. So how are you going to answer that question? Are you just going to accept the way things are? Or are you going to truly believe that God can do some amazing things in your life and that He's got you? And see, some of you watching might be like, oh, Cassie, that's kind of harsh. But the thing is, I'm one of those people, I don't like anything sugarcoated. Tell me straight. I don't want somebody to tell me what I want to hear. I want somebody to tell me what I need to hear. And that's exactly what I'm doing for you. You've heard the question. Now, how are you going to answer it? There's a shift coming to your life. And God, He's got it ready for you. But the question is, how long until you start making the change?